Hello friends, I am Naveen Halemane. Welcome to my channel PARICHAYA. In today's session, I am going to introduce you to first PUC English textbook or course book called Reflections. In PUC English, first year and second year, equal importance is given for both textbook and workbook. In course book we have literary pieces, and in workbook we have grammar sessions. You have lot of room for practicing those things. Even in course books or textbooks, you have got lessons, poems and other things where you still have many opportunities to learn English through language activities also. Okay, so in first year's textbook or course book Reflections, what is there inside it and how much interest you should show for these units, I am going to introduce you briefly. There are totally 13 units in this course book. The first unit is The Gentleman of the Jungle. It's a fable. Fable means through the story of animals they are going to tell you something which is about colonial Africa. The story is written by Jomo Kenyatta. Jomo Kenyatta is a Kenyan writer and a leader, and he introduces us to a man and an elephant and other animals. Mainly, man actually represents the native of Africa, the native living beings of human beings of Africa, and all other animals represent different European powers which come to Africa to distribute the whole continent of Africa among themselves, like England, France, Italy, Portugal. All these countries came to Africa and divided the whole continent among themselves. What happened to the native African during that time? This story depicts all those things. Second one is a poem. It's a poem by William Blake. The poem is called The Schoolboy. In this poem, there is a critique of what is formal schooling and how it snatches the joy of the child. The child is not happy sitting inside the four walls while he wants to grow like a free plant or fly like a bird. These things can't happen in the classroom. He is anxious, he is worried about the teachers, the lessons they teach, all these things. So how the innocent children suffer in the classrooms is shown in this poem very beautifully. The third unit is a Kannada story or an experience written by K.P. Purnachandra Tejasvi. It is translated to English. In this story, which is called Around a Medicinal Creeper, they are talking about a medicinal plant. This medicinal plant, how they got introduced to this medicinal creeper and what are the uses of it, and how the workers in his farm are telling many interesting stories. Some are true, some are lies, and some you can't believe at all. All incredible stories, all interesting stories and funny stories are there which are narrated by the workers in his farm. So together we understand how Indian Ayurvedic or traditional medicinal system is on the verge of extinction just because people are not transferring the knowledge they have got about the plant to the next generation. Fourth unit is Oru Manushiyan. It's a Malayalam story written by Vaikom Muhammad Bashir. Vaikom Muhammad Bashir writes very interesting stories, and this is one of them. Oru Manushiyan means a man. In this story, the writer gives a picture of how we consider people as bad or good, and how right we are in considering those things, and what happens when somebody like you are in a different place, a strange place where you don't know the language, you don't know the people, you are having a livelihood in some other place, and all the people around you are very bad, the murders are very common in that city. What are you going to do if you are in a trouble? So once you go to a restaurant, you eat whatever you want. When you go to pay the money, the wallet is missing. What should happen? And the owner of the restaurant says, I'll gouge your eyes out. And what would happen to the person who is helpless there, and who helps? All these interesting things are given in this story, Oru Manushiyan by Muhammad Bashir. Fifth one is a poem again by D.H. Lawrence, 20th century English poet. The poem is called Money Madness. In this poem, the evil power of money is depicted. How money makes us feel like a beggar, and how the people with money, always ill treat the people who don't have money. And what is the solution for that? How we should gain back sanity about money. If we don't gain back sanity, we are going to kill each other just for the sake of money. That should not happen in the modern world. So that's the intention of the poet D.H. Lawrence through this poem. And sixth one is a very interesting newspaper article. It is written by Samarpita Mukherjee Sharma, and this article introduces you to a very interesting personality called Babar Ali. Babar Ali is the youngest headmaster in this world. He started teaching at the mere age of 6 to 7. He started teaching to the students of his neighborhood who could not go to school due to poverty. He started with only 8 students. Today, a village in Murshidabad where he runs his school, Anand Shiksha Niketan, there are 800 students, and he is an inspiration to all of you who are very much interested about bringing a change in the society. And how he started his school, and how he developed, and how others helped, and what are his ideas about education, how his father helped him, and all these things are very interesting to read about Babar Ali. And Babar Ali would serve as a great inspiration for all of you youngsters. And seventh unit is a poem. It's a Kannada poem written by Mudnakudu Chinnaswamy. Mudnakudu Chinnaswamy, in his poem Nanondu Maravagiddare, is the original poem in Kannada, and Rowena Hill has translated that poem into English as If I Was a Tree. It's an ironical poem about caste system in India. All of us feel proud of being born as a human being, but in this poem, due to the caste discriminations, untouchability, and all these things, the poet feels that it's better that I should be born as a tree. And being born as a tree, I have many advantages, he thinks. And the bird doesn't ask, earth doesn't ask, wind doesn't ask, rain doesn't ask the caste when it makes friendship with the a tree. And even when the tree dies, there are 4 people to hold him on their shoulders, and he could carry a dead body of a good person. And even a kamadhenu, we say, sacred cow, it can scratch its body to the tree, where 300,000 gods which reside in the body of the holy cow would touch me. If I was a human being, I wouldn't have experienced all these good things. So he ironically, very pathetically says that it is better that I should have been born as a tree. So this poem by Mudnakudu Chinnaswamy deals ironically with the caste system in India. Eighth one is a play. In this play, R.K. Narayan tells us a story of a lake called Ayyanakere, which is near Sakrayapatna. And in this story, he deals with the theme of man versus nature. You have got a village, you have got a river called Veda, and there is a hill behind it, and the Veda flows from there. uh, so this village doesn't have any lake, so this water is getting wasted. So this goddess comes to the dream of a layman called Mara, and she tells that ask your king to build a lake here, and I can be saved here. The Veda would stay here and would help the people of this village and many more people. So here he meets the king somehow, and he gets the consent from the king, and he builds the lake. After that, he becomes the watchman of the lake. After becoming the watchman of the lake, he feels very proud of his work, and he is the superior power, and because of him only Veda river got some room, and she has got some shelter because of him. After that, maybe the nature gets angry about Mara, who is boasting himself. So again there is a big rain, flood, and that night the goddess comes again in his dream and says that I am not going to stay now. I am going to kick away the stones you have piled to lock my river Veda. And Mara gets worried. If the flood comes out and the lake is broken, the whole kingdom is going to drown, and the palace, king, everybody is going to die. So he requests the goddess, let me go to the king and tell the whole subjects of the kingdom about the coming flood, and to save themselves. So goes the story, and throughout the story we understand how nature is superior to man. And coming to the ninth unit, which is a poem by Volga. The poem is called The Farmer's Wife. It's a Telugu poem translated to English. In this poem, how a farmer commits suicide, and because he commits suicide, his wife and children are lost control over life, and what should they do? Because of loans he has taken from the creditors, he can't pay them back. He has committed suicide by taking poison. What should he do now? And what should the children do? And how this woman should take care of the children? So the farmer's wife talks about how she should take life instead of death, and how taking life and its struggle very seriously is very important than just killing themselves. And 10th unit is Frederick Douglass. It's an excerpt from autobiography of an American slave called Frederick Douglass. This apartheid system where white people treat or discriminate the black people, which is this is conveyed in this autobiographical piece, where how these white masters always ill-treat the slaves like animals, and how they misuse the women, and they gave birth to the children, and they are again continue to serve as slaves, and how his childhood was as a slave, and how he came out from there. All these things are explained by Frederick Douglass in his autobiography, and a small part is given to understand the plight of American slaves. 11th unit is again a poem called An Old Woman, written by Arun Kolatkar. Arun Kolatkar introduces us to a woman who is very self-dependent, and he meets a very old woman in a town, a temple town called Jejuri. In this town, he meets her and she asks for 50 paise coin. Just she says that she would show a temple, and instead of that she wants 50 paise coin. She is not a beggar, she is like a local guide, and she wants to earn money by doing something. And The poet has already seen the temple and he doesn't want to see the temple again. So he feels pestered. But when the old woman says, "What else can an old woman do on hills as wretched as these?" the poet's mind begins to change. He melts due to the smallness of his own mind and how he didn't support the old lady who is self reliant and self dependent. And so goes the poem, and it brings a lot of big change for the poet. The next unit is Two Gentlemen of Verona, which is a story written by A.J. Cronin. This very interesting story. There are two children in this story. Nicola is the elder one, Jacopo is a younger one. And these two children are doing some or the other thing in Verona, which is a war hit city. The storyteller actually goes for a visit to Verona along with his driver, and he keeps on meeting these children often. And through his meets, he understands that they are very hardworking, but they are not spending any money on their own clothes, their own food, or their own well being. And the story writer very curiously asks, what do they do with their money? But those children say, we have our own plans. But later he comes to understand what is their need, what is their special need due to which they are working from morning till midnight. They are polishing shoes, they are taking the tourists around the town, they bring cigarettes, they bring tickets to opera or anything like many works they do. Why they are working so hard? Which is revealed in the later part of the story, where they don't have any parents and the mother was already deceased, and father also is dead in the war, and there is only one elder sister who is Lucia, and to take care of her who is not feeling well, they are working so hard. These children bring so much of hope about the future of this world because of their unselfish deeds. The last unit is a ghazal written by Fayaz Ahmad Fayaz, who is a Pakistani poet, and the ghazal is called "Do Not Ask of Me, My Love," which was originally written as "Mujhse pehli si mohabbat mere mehboob na mang," which says the poet is helpless actually now, and he feels that he cannot love his lady as nicely as he used to love, and he used to think that his love is everything, and because of her only the world is beautiful, because of her eyes the world is looking beautiful. But in the later part of the poem, in the ghazal, he says that he cannot love her as nicely as before. There are other pleasures and pains other than love in the world, and the poet says that he has to look at those things also. Love is not the only thing he has to concentrate on. There are many sufferings of the world, there are diseases, there are people who are killing others. All these things he has to look at. And he also says that she is still beautiful, but he has to look at other things of the world. That's why he says, I can't love in the way I used to love earlier. So these are the 13 units which are very interesting to go through, and I know through the academic year the students and the teachers are going to enjoy this variety of literary pieces which are there in the reflections, which is the course book for first PUC English. Thank you.